Welcome to video 9.1G, solve a quadratic equation with the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is the single most important formula in all of Algebra 2. This should be a review. Here's the formula. If ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then x equals the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. There's a song if you need to sing it to remember it, but hopefully you can have that memorized. All right, here's the example. Solve this equation with the quadratic formula. Step 1, you've got to be in standard form. So ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Once you do that, you identify your a, your b, and your c. Notice that I'm circling the signs, and then we're just going to apply the formula. So here we go. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A lot of the mistakes made are with signs, so I use parentheses. Be especially careful if you've got a negative squared. All right, so a negative value squared, I put the parentheses around the whole thing, you'll always get a positive. Okay, so I'll work this out. So x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16. A minus is a positive. And then that's going to be 8 by 7, 56, all over 4. All right? So that equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root. That's going to be 72, all over 4. We always want to simplify the radicals. So I know that the square root of 72 is really the square root of 36 times the square root of 2. If you have knowledge of these, it makes it easier than factoring. And the square root of 36 is just 6. So I'm going to say that's 6 radical 2. So x equals negative 4 plus or minus 6 radical 2 all over 4. Again, we need simplified answers. So something that I teach my students is just crisscrossing bubbles. If you want, we can do that. And we can do that. So equals negative 4 over 4 plus or minus 6 radical 2 over 4. And then further simplify that. So x equals negative 1 plus or minus 2 goes in there twice, 2 goes in there 3 times, plus or minus 3 radical 2 over 2. And again, I like to write my answers x sub 1 and x sub 2. So x sub 1 equals negative 1 minus 3 radical 2 over 2. And x sub 2 equals negative 1 plus 3 radical 2 over 2. One note, if you combine these fractions, you could have combined them in a numerator and denominator. So just to show you, this is equivalent here to x sub 1. I could multiply top and bottom by 2. So it could have been negative 2 minus 3 radical 2 over 2. Likewise over here, if I multiply top and bottom by 2, negative 2 plus 3 radical 2 over 2. That's acceptable as well. So there you have it, how to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula.